Spoilers follow, and be sure to check the description for content warnings.
Michael, please tell me about Superman 3. I won't work on Sunday. Bad case of the Mondays. Retire delusions. Don't jump to conclusions. The program is failing. We must be bailing now. But before my court case, I'll show her my face. Just stop there. I know, sir. I heard Lumberg fucked her. Birthday cake, a slice short, TPS, report, no need for a demo. Yes, I got the memo. And they've moved Milton again. When will this ever end? Someone must take a stand. Let's unleash our master plan. When Inatech is gone, blast a Michael Bolton song. 2 chicks at the same time while Inatech is burning up. While Inatech is burning up was Damn It by Blink-182. And it only took me 3 attempts.
That's worth the wait. Peter Gibbons hates his life, his job, and possibly his girlfriend. Luckily, a hypnosis session breaks him free and begins living a better life, a life of crime, in 1999's Office Space. Welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. Why am I still reading this from my phone? It has been 3 years. Anyways, I'm Luc Londe, joined once again, almost as always, by Chuck Starzenski.
Yes, I am here. Yes, I got the memo.
And joining us also, once again, almost as always, Javier Martinez.
It is Monday, and I've got a case of it.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Be sure to stick around for our Sonic Death Monkey top 5 characters you do a Superman 3 with, and hopefully I can speak soon.
Me talk pretty one day.
Me talk good. And excuse my my slightly sick voice, but we shall carry on, as Milton does. On to Act 1. What do you guys remember about this movie?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I have always loved this movie. I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, knowing who Mike Judge was. I was ecstatic to see a trailer for a workplace comedy as a 10-year-old. In high school, I bought it on DVD, and it took on a new life as a comedy that I'd, hang out with friends and smoke weed to. And then when I joined the workforce, it became all too relatable.
Yeah, I kind of wrote down something similar. I was in a different place. I was in the military and did not experience this kind of life at all, but understood it immediately once I watched it. Yeah, how about you, Javi?
Yeah, so I also...
Javi watched it yesterday.
Yeah, no. Also, I was a fan of King of the Hill as well, Beavis and Butthead. I definitely saw that in my early teen years. Although, as far as this movie goes, when you guys pitched the Sonic Death Monkey top 5 for this film, and I had no idea how that was related to this film at all, that should have kind of given you guys a little heads up of like, oh,
I don't think it's a big part of the film. I had to reach for it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I had, I didn't necessarily remember any of this film. I have only seen it one time prior to this viewing.
Oh, okay.
And that was at the behest of one of my high school teachers, who claimed it was like the funniest movie ever made. Like he stated it as if it was a fact. Like, wait, like he brought it up in class someday and was like, wait, none of you guys have seen Office Space? To this classroom of whatever, like 14, 15-year-olds were like, no, what is that? And he's like, it's the funniest movie ever made as far as comedies go. And we're like, oh, okay, wow.
That's the enthusiasm at Garner, for sure. Like there's a bunch of older people trying to shove this on kids, no doubt. But yeah, I understand your feelings and your teacher's feelings. So.
Yeah.
I'm both glad and sorry.
Yeah. And I when I was at that age, I wasn't able to kind of necessarily get it.
How is this supposed to relate to?
Yeah. So I'll let you guys know my first viewing. I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was But yeah, I won't say his name just because like almost like, oh, he showed us that in like sophomore year. Like I don't know about that one. But we didn't get permission slip signs or anything. So yeah, so I won't mention his name so he doesn't get in trouble. I don't know if he's still teaching, but
Yeah, that's smart.
And he's probably got tenure by now. He's fine.
Most nostalgic favorite scenes.
Yeah, it's not one scene in particular. It's just all of the character introductions.
Yeah.
They're just so solid. Like literally 30 seconds into meeting, because it's just an ensemble movie at the end of the day, and 30 seconds into meeting each character, you know exactly who they are. You know exactly their intentions. It's just like,
It is done well, yeah.
Like Michael Bolton singing along to a Scarface song in his car and just like feeling himself and having the greatest day ever. And then the second he has to interact with an actual African-American person who's lightly impoverished, he's just like, oh shit, windows up, locking the door.
Turning the music down.
Exactly.
yeah.
Sheer embarrassment. Oh,
How about you, Javi? Anything stand out to you watching it this time around?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much in here that's so good.
It is dense. Like I would say, like I don't know what else to compare it to, but every scene needs to be in the movie.
Yeah,
Every scene does its thing.
absolutely. I'm gonna take the low hanging fruit and say everything that Diedrich Bader says in this film. I forgot the neighbor's name, but I don't.
Lawrence.
Yeah. Lawrence.
Lawrence,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
Hey, Lawrence, you want to come over?
God, it's so fucking funny, and it just
thanks,
reminds me of
man.
like what a gem.
Don't
What a
want you
gem he
fucking
is.
up my life too.
Yeah. What was that when he talks about like, oh, you know, if I had $1 million, like I wouldn't do anything. He's like, shit, my cousin's a crackhead. Like he does that all day. Like you don't need to be rich for that. You know?
yeah, exactly. He sits around on his ass all day. You don't gotta be rich to do that shit.
Just so good, so good. Yeah.
My easily most memorable is the slow motion destruction of the printer.
Oh yeah.
You know?
So good.
It's good. And it goes on for a while too. But it's so
I remember it being
funny.
longer. That's the thing.
Oh, really?
I think there's a different like theatrical cut where it does go on and on and on.
Oh, maybe, yeah, because I saw it on.
Because the song is actually clipped. They cut part of the song out, so they did edit it down.
Oh, okay, because I saw it like on a streaming service, and it, like I said, it went on for a good 3 minutes. So it
Yeah.
might have been the entirety of the song. I don't know, but
Maybe.
So I might have seen that cut.
I love that they all keep going back to. Like I love it when
Keeps
Michael Bolton is like
resurfacing.
punching it and ripping the guts out and has to be dragged away. It's so good.
The therapist dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole scene is just the what do you call it? The focus point of the movie or of the story, like the turning point.
Right.
Yeah, it's just an old fat therapist just keeling over in the middle of a session.
Yeah. And again, I didn't remember that happening, so I was like watching this. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Why is he so weird, man? He's like sweating and like focus or whatever.
Oh,
like,
I know. It's,
Real, real low. Yeah. Way down.
God, I love Michael Bolton's performance review.
Yeah. Oh.
Just like, oh my God, I am a diehard fan of his music.
Oh, John C. McGinley in this, man.
So good.
Yeah.
Wow. This is pre-Scrubs.
Yeah.
So if you watched him on Scrubs, where he played basically the same character.
Naina Jen, now you ain't gonna work here anymore.
So fucked up.
One thing that Mike Judge does really well, like for example in King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead, is he's really good at at doing callbacks to stuff earlier in the episode or whatever.
He understands
He's so good at
structure,
it. So
for
good at
sure.
it. And so like
Yeah.
literally one of the things that got me laughing the hardest in this film was during the dream sequence where the judge in the dream isn't able to say Samir's name. So he's like reading off their sentencing and he's like Peter so and so and he's like Samire, and it's just so fucking funny. So just that they had to include that in there.
Oh God, can we talk about Tom's accident story and settlement party? Like that's like that's just a short film in its own.
Yeah.
Just love how depressing like 9 to 5 corporate life is. That it's like, see, Peter, I was gonna give up too, but look at me, buddy. Dreams do come true, and he's just like a paraplegic now.
As he's sitting there looking at her, he decides to live.
Yeah, I know, exactly. The O-face guy telling the story, too, is such a brilliant framing device as well. Because it is just like a shithead coworker who is obviously glossing things over, forgetting details, and it's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any more? I mean, this whole movie, we could
Yeah,
talk
this
about-
whole movie
we
can
could just
go on
run
and
down
on.
every scene.
Yeah.
I mean, Milton not getting cake is just like, fuck. Again, that's a short. Like, I think that's my favorite thing about this movie is you can just pick pretty much any scene that isn't revolving around Peter and Jennifer Aniston's relationship, and basically that is a short film.
Well, not to like get into like trivia territory or anything, but the whole thing's based on a short film called Milton. So it's like, like none of these characters really need to interact with each other. They are all their own short stories.
They're their own little like beautifully contained.
Yeah.
Again, just the fact that he like does such a good job of everything in this film is like, oh, I've done that. I've seen that. That is like, it's all relatable. Like, even if you haven't necessarily worked in a similar industry, you get it. You get it. You're like, oh yeah, it just clicks and it's just so good.
I do wonder how much it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like how much this stuff didn't exist perhaps before Office Space, but when people became such a big part of the culture, people decided you're the Milton of the Office, or you're the Jim, or the
like it's so zeitgeist.
Yeah. I do wonder that.
The pieces of flair. They're not. We require them because we want you to express yourself. You do want to express yourself, don't you?
The fact that they got Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, I know.
At this time period,
it's like peak Friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Which also, it's kind of glad we did this one after, but a little, fucking almost 2 Jennifer Aniston movies back to back with Leprechaun.
That's right.
Well, I guess by the time this releases, they will be back to back on that.
Yeah, pretty much. Any nitpicks?
I've got a couple, but they're all very small.
Yeah, I have a couple as well.
Okay.
I'll start off. And I'm not normally the type of person to say this, but Milton's character, I'm going to put a question mark on this, I think is offensive.
Okay.
I mean, he's very like on the spectrum-y almost, like almost too much. Like I didn't feel like just the way he was portrayed, and I think it's because I work with this population. It was very like, oh shit, like those are like literally his mannerisms, and everything he does is like taken straight out of like my day-to-day work with.
I agree with you.
To the point, and I know the actor, and obviously he's not, or not that he's not on. I can't say he's not on the spectrum, but he's not to that extent.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, like again, I was almost like, is that too much? The fact that they like clown on him so hard, but also he's like, at least the character is like, I don't know if intentionally. Well, I assume Mike Judge wrote it based off of somebody he had met that was like, like I know that guy. So it's like, well, so you're kind of harping on the clearly like autistic guy in the office.
But when this was written and filmed,
oh no, for sure,
the word autism was not known.
No, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I laughed, and it's just funny. But like,
I see what you're saying.
Again, I just have to put that little blurb in there of like, well, like, this might be offensive.
Yeah,
but I'd be curious to see if there's any other opinions on the internet around that.
Yeah.
Around his character.
Very possible. I mean, he does win in the end. So
true.
Yeah, for me, it's just a little anticlimactic. Like,
yeah,
the fire perfectly fixes everything. Like, there's no big like face off with Lumberg. There's no, it's just okay, we're gonna turn ourselves in and like so set to go to prison, and then it's like everything worked out in the end.
Yeah, and it makes sense because that's how every episode of King of the Hill ends. Like, it's literally like, it's the last 2 minutes. Like, you're like, wait, this thing's over in 2 minutes. How's this going to get resolved? Oh, and then something happens. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it's Bobby, you learned a lesson. You're like, oh, okay.
Deus Ex,
Yeah. So I also put that it was anticlimactic, and it just doesn't work, I think, for a feature-length format.
So if we haven't mentioned this already, we're recording this a month after we did the research. So it's been a while, and I wrote down Brian should have suffered more as one of my nitpicks. And I think Brian is the other host at the Flair place.
Oh yeah, Brian is the very enthusiastic young man.
Yeah. Hey, you two, get a room.
Exactly.
Oh.
But does he get beat up?
No, nothing happens to him. He just kind of gets like lightly told off or flipped off or something, and that's about it.
Wow. I may have been drinking when I wrote that. I don't know. Any more?
Yeah, just the hypnotism as a plot device is just a little weak. Like, I understand that you need something. You need a purpose for him to have this kind of epiphany and like become this very laissez-faire character and, all of a sudden just approach corporate life like with newfound eyes of like, oh yeah, that's right. Human beings aren't meant to just toil away in an office doing absolutely nothing.
I can see that, but not in this movie.
Yeah.
I think.
Again, I was looking for nitpicks.
I know. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I just put that nothing really happens in the film.
But it almost does.
But like the heist aspect of it comes like literally 25 minutes before the movie ends.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like how did I describe it? I described it to somebody as like, oh, it's like The Big Lebowski, but it's not The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like it's kind of and then that film has the benefit of like being like 2 hours, 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah.
So when the switch up, when the shit hits the fan, it like has a chance to, give us the second half of the movie.
Right.
Whereas again, this film, it's like, oh, nothing's happening. Like, oh, there's something, and then it's over. So it's like there's not, and it's funny, but it just kind of feels like it just happens.
Yeah,
But it's not The Big Lebowski.
it's a bit of a Shaggy Dog story. Like
Right on. Any more?
this is just, again, this is my last one, and this is looking at it with like the absolute future eyes. This is 2025, looking at 1997 or 96 or something. Peter and Drew's take on Joanna's sexual history is just shitty.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also like, it was the 90s and not a whole lot of sexual awakening as far as like there was a lot of double standards and all of that. So
It was shitty, but I do admire the fact that he didn't focus on the idea that Drew thought she had slept with so many people.
Right.
Just the one guy.
just the one,
Just
just
the
the
one
one
guy really pissed him
That's
off.
where I draw the line. Yeah.
Which is pertinent to the story and kind of matters.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave that a pass, but I know what you mean.
Which I think he says too. I think he verbally says that, where he's like, oh, like I can understand all that, but lumber?
Yeah.
So I think he does
exactly.
address
That
it.
was the whole
Exactly.
focus of it. Yeah. All right, on to our rainy day double feature. What would you guys watch along with this one? Cuddled up and under a blanket in the rain. Probably not in the rain, but it's raining outside.
I'm gonna save mine because I think one of you guys might have it, and maybe you guys can speak to it better. So I'll wait.
I just got Idiocracy. I mean,
Oh,
I watch them back to back all the time, anyway. So
Nice. So we're at a little Mexican standoff here then, because I have two as well. The first one I thought of, honestly, was The Matrix, because they're almost the same. They're basically the same movie. A white-collar worker goes through an eye-opening experience and now navigates his world completely differently.
Oh, that's a double feature right there for sure. Yeah.
It's like Neo at Initech, yeah.
There you go.
Which, sorry if I stole somebody's Blue's Clues meets Blue Velvet, but
So my double feature is actually one that I haven't seen, but I know it's been recommended, I'm sure, by you guys and played by other people. But it just immediately came to my mind. I'm like, oh, I feel like that has to be the only option to double feature with this, and that's Falling Down.
oh, we should.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. So again, I haven't seen it, but just it's on my list, and like I said, it popped into my head for a second. I was like, oh, Falling
I
Down.
have watched that somewhat recently.
Yeah.
Can report it's still good.
Cool.
And if you're looking at it from a lens like where we are now to what it was like in the 90s, yeah, there's problems in it, but we should definitely do that movie.
Yeah, I would love to.
We should all watch it together and force Javi to sit down and watch it. On to our cocktail.
Yeah. This movie's cocktail, we're drinking the Swingline. So we've got 1.5 ounces of Tapatio Reposado tequila, 1/2 ounce of a homemade Falernum, 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice, and 1/2 ounce of acid-adjusted orange juice. Healthily shake and serve over crushed ice. Just make sure there's no salt on the glass. I specifically asked for no salt.
No salt. There was huge grains of salt.
Pinche gringo pendejo.
Pinche. He
put-
does call him pinche gringo.
I'm gonna put strychnine in the water.
This may not be the right time to say this, but until watching it this time, I never put together that Milton picked up the cashier's checks and went to Acapulco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just thought it was a weird ending to the movie. Like,
Oh, he's in Mexico now.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like he walks up and he's the one that discovers that the door is just unlocked.
But they don't show him picking him up.
No.
But he actually says at the end, I will take my cashier's check somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh shit, what? Yeah, so I'm an idiot. I guess that's a good place to drop in there. The cocktail is fantastic, Chuck.
Thank you.
Delicious.
And this is where we have our dead drop. It's very simple. It's the PC load letter. And that takes us to our first ad break.
Ad break number 1. Woo! Welcome back to Nostalgia Killers Trivia, where I am sitting as Mike, judge, and jury for our 2 guests.
Nice.
Question number 1. The idea for Office Space started out as a series of popular animated shorts by Mike Judge revolving around the character of Milton. Which came first, Milton or Beavis and Butthead?
Milton.
I'll say Milton.
Ding, 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 that is correct. Milton actually debuted in 1991 and was written and animated in the late 80s. Beavis and Butthead did not even appear in a single short until 1992.
Did you say 81?
Sorry, in the 91 is when it debuted on Saturday Night Live.
No, I mean,
which is
Milton.
Yeah, 91.
91, okay.
But late 80s is when he had he was
Gotcha, yeah.
working on the animation for it.
Right on.
Question number 2. When casting first began, Mike Judge only had 2 actors in mind. Who were they? A. Gary Cole and Jennifer Aniston. B. Stephen Root and David Herman. C. Ron Livingston and Deirdre Bader.
B.
There was 3 options there? Mm-hmm. Then, yeah, it was B. I'm going to go with B also.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. I made this trivia way too easy. Yes. He had worked with both of them on King of the Hill prior to the filming of this, and yeah, has a great working relationship with them and still has one to this day.
Nice.
Question number 3. Speaking of casting, the studio was originally insistent on a very specific actor for the role of Peter. Who was it? A. Owen Wilson. B. Vince Vaughn. C. Matt Damon. Or D. Ben Affleck.
B.
Ben Affleck.
It is actually C. Matt Damon.
Ew.
The movie almost didn't get made because, Judge was so insistent on casting an unknown for the role of Peter.
Yeah.
And then, fun fact, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn both auditioned for the part of Lawrence.
Oh, right on.
Question number 4. 20th Century Fox was not a fan of the soundtrack and told Judge repeatedly that it had to be pulled. What saved the now iconic gangsta rap soundtrack? Was it A, Interscope Records already had the soundtrack for sale? B, Ice Cube threatened to bring Next Friday to another studio if his music was removed from the film? Or C, a last-minute test screening in which the entire audience praised the soundtrack?
I'm going to play safe with C.
I'm going to go with B.
Sometimes safety is your best bet. Basically, they were going to pull it. They already had another soundtrack lined up, and Mike Judge was like, wait, let's try one more. And then a bunch of people actually hated the film in that test screening, but they were like, you know what? The juxtaposition of like the gangster rap with The Office, really funny.
Nice.
Question number 5. Director Mike Judge makes a cameo as Stan, Joanna's boss at Tchotchkes, a character that was not in the original script. Why was Stan written in last minute? A. Judge thought this may be his only live-action film and wanted to be a part of it. B. Pressure from the studio for more scenes featuring Jennifer Aniston. Or C. Judge would do impressions of Stan in between takes and the crew insisted on adding the character.
B.
A.
It is B. Jennifer Aniston was not featured enough for this film to be a Jennifer Aniston vehicle, so they had to write a couple extra scenes for her.
Right on.
Question number 6. What does TPS actually stand for?
Oh, shit.
Is it A, Test Program Set, B, Technical Production Settings, or C, Transfer Procedure Standards?
A.
A.
Ding, ding, ding. It is A. The reason for the TPS reports is Mike Judge actually filed these at an old engineering job day in and day out.
I'm pretty sure there's a close-up on one of them, too. It says what it is. I completely forgot.
It's okay. I was hoping for that month-long gap to make it fuzzier. Question number 7, true or false? Despite being called out by the film Office Space, TGI Fridays still requires their employees to wear a minimum number pieces of flair.
I'm going to go true on that one.
False.
It is indeed false. The company banned the wearing of flair 4 years after the film's release due to the incessant jokes being made by customers.
We won. We won.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Question number 8. Swingline didn't make a red stapler until there was a demand for them after the film came out. Why was the iconic stapler painted red on set? A. It kept getting lost by the prop department. B. So that the actor playing Milton could actually see it. Or C. It was an attempt at a product placement deal that fell through.
C.
B.
It is B. The glasses that Stephen Root had to wear to play Milton were so thick he could barely see anything and needed every single prop that he interacted with to be as visible as possible.
Whoa. Right on.
Question number 9. Despite being a box office flop, the film has garnered a huge cult following, especially in the entertainment industry. Which celebrity did not reach out personally to gush about the film? A. Jim Carrey. B. Madonna. C. Chris Rock. Or D. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
I'm going to go Bill Murray.
It is Bill Murray. Yeah, Madonna actually took Mike Judge out to dinner because of the film. Chris Rock tracked him down and actually got a guest role on King of the Hill because of this film. And Jim Carrey left him a very weird, very Jim Carrey voicemail that was just like, Mr. Judge, I got to tell you, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Da, da, da.
I kind of knew it was Murray because he's kind of cantankerous. And if the spotlight's not on him, he won't like it.
And then this was not an option, but this is just another little fun fact. Michael Bolton is actually a huge fan of this movie as well, despite being called a no-talent ass. And finally, question number 10. Due to the cult status of Office Space, Mike Judge was offered to adapt the American remake of The Office. Why did he turn the project down? A. He read reviews of the original series praising it for not being like that quote-unquote awful Office Space movie. B. He wanted to adapt it as an animation, but it was denied. Or C. His issues with 20th Century Fox continued onward, and they were attached to the project at the time.
I'm going to go with B.
C.
It is actually A.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he was all set to do it. And then kind of a petty little move on his part. He was just like, oh, it's like this show's good because it's not like this hacky movie that I love and directed and poured my heart and soul into. Well, fuck you guys. I'm not going to do a show because, yeah,
And
apparently it's better than my work.
And then they took it and made it American anyways.
Exactly.
That's great. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for doing the trivia.
You're welcome.
Where do we stand here, Javi? We got 5?
7.
You got 7?
Ooh, Javier wins.
Hate you. Insert something witty.
In your face.
This show does not use AI yet. It's gonna replace one of us one day, but
Fuck. I'll do better, I promise.
everybody, yeah, you should watch your ass. Which brings us to our. We like to thank our executive producer. Thank you, Addie Martinez. Thank you, as always, for being our executive producer and giving us $15 a month on our Patreon. If you too would like your name shouted out on Patreon for every episode that you are supporting us. Did I say that right? Yeah. $15 a month on Patreon. Patreon.com/The Nostalgic Killers Podcast. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're doing great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And also, yeah, thanks again, Addie. You're proof that if you hang in long enough, good things will happen.
Mm-hmm. And if you donate something small enough, you're likely to forget it and just let it run. With that, we'll take our second ad break.
Ad break number 2.
And we're back with Act 3, the award categories, where we start off with My New Band Name. where we go back to what the hell did I write down a month ago.
I can jump in and stall for time.
Okay.
My band is Case of the Mondays.
Oh, nice.
They're an emo band
That's a decent band.
Yeah.
Like, I could buy it.
with their hit song "Every Day Is the Worst Day of My Life," and it's off of the album "All That Is Soulless and Wrong."
Yes.
I like that one.
Nice. I didn't go too deep, but I got a Cornhole Patrol. I think we all know where that comes from.
So my band is Kung Fu and Chill, and they got their album Channel 9 Breast Exam.
Woo, Peter, Channel 9. We at least pretend, Lawrence, that the walls aren't paper thin.
And their hit single, Cheatin' Feelin'.
I'm going to try to send this to Dietrich, see if he'll listen to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we might get a response from him. He was a big part of this movie.
Well, hell, Luke, I think you might get your ass kicked for saying something like that.
Hell no, man. Right on. On to Roger Deakins Would Be Proud. Not a huge cinematography movie. Did you guys find any?
Yeah, I
there
had two, like, I had one shot, and then I've got a thing that happens several times that I really, really enjoy.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So my shot is the crane, like it's like a plonge overhead shot of Peter, like at the office typing away, and it's a crane shot from him that swings down and swoops over to reveal the just a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to put the movie down. I just thought everything I saw was utilitarian. Like it was just wasn't really done for art so much as just telling the story like a normal person would, I guess. I don't know. Fuck this movie.
So I had the scene where they're filming Michael through the glass desk. So like from under, and,
Sure.
and it's like a glass desk, clearly on purpose. So we see like his mouse moving from below.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was in there, huh?
Yeah, and then from that shot, they switched to like a shot showing like they're like switching the floppy disk, and it's like in slow mo. It's like it was just like
pretty
one scene in the movie. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? What's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
this is a real like heist spy movie. Like, wow.
I meant to include that in my favorite scenes. I love that so much.
Yeah, that one was good. I think that also influenced a lot of people in the workplace to pull shit like that all the time.
And then my not necessarily a shot, but something they do several times. It's very old school. It's very much taken from like old noir movies and things like that. But it's during all of the interviews and all of the performance reviews, they do this dolly over the shoulder sweep maneuver.
Yeah.
That basically just switches between the characters, and it's a perfect. The dialogue is so clean and crisp, and just the camera movements are so, as you said, very much like purposefully done, like just kind of to get from point A to point B, that it makes it so that these scenes fucking move, and there's no need for cuts.
Oh yeah.
So there's like a couple like of the interviews are like one takes because it is just
Yeah.
we're just swapping back and forth with a camera movement.
Yeah, but again, that's also the way I see it. It's just smart because you get through more script that way with fewer setups. It's just smart filmmaking. I didn't have any camera shots, but I really love when Anne is screaming through the answering machine and she moves it.
Oh yeah,
Rattles it so fucking hard.
I've been cheating on you.
I'm pretty sure that was real. I don't think they did anything to like try to make that happen. She just had her scream into the fucking phone.
So good. I got this sneaking suspicion Anne's cheating on me. Yeah, I got that feeling too, but I love that. I love all, like Javi said, like all of the repetition.
Yeah.
It's just like even Samir, who he does not hang out with outside of work, is just like, well.
Yeah.
Is that Channing Tatum in a Dog Collar Award? Quite a few.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Not to mention Mr. Dietrich Bader, but I got John C. McGinley as just fucking, I don't know, the wildest person in this movie. like scary wild. Like he could turn on you and like eat your face. If you don't like Mike Bolton,
I fucking love the Bobs so much.
Yeah.
I also just love that too, that it's Bob.
So despite this being like one of the biggest fucking memes online, I did not remember that Gary Cole was the boss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when I saw like his name in the opening credits, I was like, oh, Gary Cole's in this. I'm like, who the fuck does Gary Cole play? You know, and it took me like literally probably not even the first scene, but like the second or third scene that the boss showed up in, and I was like, oh shit! I'm like, that's Gary Cole.
Right, Javier. I'm gonna need you to recognize my acting genius.
Yeah, that was
Great.
wild, man. So, yeah,
I'm surprised nobody took it. I went for very low hanging fruit. I said Orlando Jones as Steve.
Yeah, the crackhead.
Yes.
I used to be addicted to methamphetamine and methadone, and I am now. And then I love that he's just actually just doing a bit to sell magazines. And yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I used to work for, the company right next to you.
Innitrode.
Yeah.
Yes. I will. There are some movies he's been in that are probably not very watchable today, but I will support him forever, man. He's one of the funniest people alive.
He was, I also love that it's him and David Herman, and they're like the OG Mad TV cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce is trash. A controversial hot take.
I don't know how controversial it is, but I would say that seeing this at a very young age prepared me for how terrible work life is going to be and can be. And it may have even woke me up a little bit to how much of like an unnecessary time suck capitalism is in general.
Oh, nice. Started the ball rolling.
Exactly.
Good.
It's like that and All the Small Things by Blink-182. It's like work sucks. I know.
I don't have one.
You can just go off on Guy Pearce too if you want.
Well, I guess that's my controversial hot take is that after watching The Brutalist, Guy Pearce is not trash.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
I know. We can change the name if you want.
Well, it sucks. Like it was literally like 2 episodes after we changed the name, I like went and saw The Brutalist, and I was like, damn, he's so fucking good in that. And I was rooting for him at the Oscars. I was like, Guy Pearce has got to take it because he made me believe that he's not trash. So
You must have been a little stoked that he didn't win, though.
Yeah.
You must have also been like, that's for like 30 years of making me watch your crap, though.
guess I can keep the joke going, right?
Take
He
that.
didn't win, so
Take that, Memento.
yeah.
I got that. This movie just shows that even back in the late 90s, the tech job market was in decline. Or just a shit show all around. I'm sure you guys remember the Y2K thing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I was already out in the world, and people were flipping out. Like the older people were doomsday flipping out, like selling off all their stocks in their houses and shit because they thought the world was going to fucking end.
Wow.
And that's what this movie kind of centers around is like kind of in the background, but
That's Peter's whole job.
yeah,
Is
the entire
changing the
job's
date.
updating the software, all the banking software, and there was lots of it. I don't want to get into it here, but even the people that basically saved the world in the year 2000 were just shit on, not paid well, played like pawns. Even if you were a genius and you knew 9 computer languages, you were just a poker chip to be moved around or fired or shit on by middle management.
And nothing has changed.
Pretty much, yeah. That's basically my hot take. And here we are. All right, on to Blue's Clues. Blue Velvet meets Blue's Clues. Sorry, I didn't
No?
do anything. I'm looking at my notes from a month ago. I could have sworn I did something, but maybe I didn't. Damn drugs.
Yeah, well, I'll go. I got one. So I have Office Space meets Pineapple Express.
Oh.
So Peter picks up a job at a local dispensary just after weed has been legalized in California. Believing this job will be tolerable, relaxing even, Peter's surprised to find that even weed joints follow a hierarchy and bureaucracy. In frustration, Peter enlists the help of his 2 coworkers, Saul and Dale, to help rob the dispensary of its weed while frame it to look like an outside job.
Nice.
I love that.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I would happily watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a great pitch just for Office Space 2.
There you go.
Yeah, I said Office Space meet... Jesus Christ. I don't know what... I've got like a... I mean, I ate peanut butter right before the podcast. That's probably it.
When we're still feeding it to him, folks.
But I said Office...
Open up.
God, can I just have some milk?
You
But I said-
can actually see the footage on Patreon.
Right?
We're now sponsored by Jiffy.
Oh, I wish. No, I'm slumming it over here. But I said Office Space meets Ocean's 11. I would love to see a more intricate take on the actual heist and have that be a bit more of a centerpiece.
Sure.
And then like it would be fun to see them get everybody in the office in on it.
Yeah.
And like Milton is there. Like maybe Milton is more of like a Kaiser Soze kind of thing. Like he's actually not bumbling or on the spectrum. He's actually like a fucking like Mensa genius. He's the one who wrote the code, you know?
Yeah. I like it.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Any a la cartes?
Yeah, I just want to take this space to say like perfect needle drops. This movie's soundtrack,
Outstanding soundtrack.
so good.
Yeah.
You've got the Ghetto Boys, you've got Scarface, you've got Ice Cube, just to name a handful. And like each song, I would argue like the fact that the studios didn't want to use the soundtrack shows how goddamn tone deaf
Yes.
studios are.
Oh, it's just a bunch of old white dudes.
Yeah.
Of course. Like, I think the it owes its success to the juxtaposition of this white working environment with the soundtrack itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally, man.
And also just, yeah, exactly. It's also, you know, taking this sterile, caged sort of environment and then having, you know, this very animalistic, raw sound, you know, just that classic, like, oh yeah, we're not meant to be doing this. We're out there, you know.
Yeah. This is probably a weird place to bring it in. It's not part of a topic or anything, but where do you guys think this took place?
I did the trivia, so I know.
Okay.
But if I had to guess, I would just say some random, I would say like Indiana, like some middle America.
Okay. When I first watched it, I thought it was California, but then Mike Judge did it, so I thought it was like Dallas. This because this looks exactly like Dallas, outside of Dallas, all these business parks and bullshit. But it could be anywhere. What do you think?
I have no guess. I hadn't put that much thought into that.
Because it did a really good job of covering up the license plates and like just washing this place of any identity, which is kind of what business world is like.
Yeah, I would say that was actually part of the trivia that I didn't include is that was purposely done.
Yeah,
was to make it so that it was literally could be anywhere.
Where did they film it though?
It's filmed in Dallas.
That's
Oh,
what I
wow.
thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It looks exactly
it's filmed
like
in
fucking
Texas.
Dallas. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
literally, they had to shut down shooting for a week because of a heat wave.
Yeah.
And the
doesn't surprise me.
scenes with Peter and Michael Bolton, respectively, in their cars in traffic,
Yeah.
that was filmed on one of the hottest days of the year.
Ugh.
And they were both dying. And I think it was, why am I struck? David Herman. I think it was David Herman. I could be wrong. It could be the other actor, but I think it was David Herman actually had like a light heat stroke while they were shooting. And so then it was just like, oh shit, we got to call production. We got to sit this thing out. Because we're going to be shooting, it was shot on a shoestring budget, so they're shooting in a bunch of like just buildings with no air conditioning, no nothing. It's just like, yep.
Yeah, they're taking live sound, so there's no
Exactly.
air conditioning or.
And I'm sure that was perfect for the film too. Just made him look extra miserable.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
Fucking
explains
hate life.
their faces.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
There's no acting involved there. It's just
Yeah, I went to a couple like tech schools out there in Dallas. That's what the whole place looks like.
okay.
There's I forget what the name of it is, but there's a whole other city outside of Dallas that does nothing but business parks and airports. Mm-hmm. And there's like,
Which that was the whole reason it was that was the impetus was just like Mike Judge said that he would literally, living just outside of Dallas would go to lunch. And it's like, okay, well, the only restaurants in this fucking town are these soulless corporate like Hooters, TGI Fridays, Sizzlers, yada yadas, and then everything else around that isn't my actual like cul-de-sac that I live in is just these soulless office spaces.
yeah, and it just goes on for fucking ever. Yeah, right on. I was curious about that. Curious what you guys thought, and also curious about the truth. Do we call Jules and Vincent?
Absolutely not. I'm letting this movie live.
No, this is a liver.
This was one of those movies that actually I was so excited to do on the show. Like I had been like really wanting to do this because I was just like, dude, I really want to rewatch Office Space, but I know we're going to do it eventually. So like, can we please just do this fucking movie so I can watch it? And it did not disappoint. I love this movie.
Nice.
Yeah, let it live. Obviously. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was
We're
great.
gonna have to kick you out, man.
No. No, it was great.
I'm glad it still plays well. It's just almost timeless. I don't know when it's not going to be good. For what generation, when's it not going to make sense or hold up?
When the overlords take over.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? A job? What's a job?
Praise to Voltron. Right on. Got any pluggables, anybody?
No, not this time around.
There's a lot of things I should be producing and doing, but I'm so strung out and beat up from work. Apologize.
Not a pluggable, but just my moment to shout it out. I did this a while back, and I am sad to have to bring it up again. But I know it was also brought up at the Academy Awards. Thank you, Sean Baker. Yeah, Sean Baker. But please go to your local cinema, man. Watch movies in the fucking theaters. So they actually did last minute end up closing Summerfield. I don't know if you heard about
was
that.
Was it today or yesterday?
Local, yesterday. Yeah, another local theater.
So sad. I almost got to go like one more time.
Yeah.
I was so bummed I had to work. They were playing.
They're playing good movies.
They're playing good movies, and they were all free, and it was just like
wow. Oh, were
basically
they
all day? Yeah, it was from open to close. It was one last day. Basically, they had like a slate of a couple current films, and then just like classics, basically. And they were just like,
wow. I didn't even hear about that.
Should have ditched work.
Yeah, I totally would have.
Like Peter.
But yeah, please get out and you know, even if it's just every now and then, you don't have to go every fucking Friday or anything like that. But guys, you know, it does for a lot of films, it does make a difference.
Yes.
You know, viewing it on the big screen versus at home.
A couple of films I will mention after we close, and it's in the post show. But I'll talk about some that really could have used some box office help that I've watched recently that are fucking awesome.
Totally.
Excellent. On to our Sonic Death Monkey top 5, where we're most certainly not going to have the same impression of this question. What's your top 5 all-time movie characters you would enter into a Superman 3 heist with? I'm a little scared. But I'll go first. I mean, I haven't even read what I wrote a month ago, so let's see. Ben Affleck's character O'Banion in Dazed and Confused, so I could pin it on him and escape with the money.
Okay. I was like, what is O'Banion gonna do? And also, like, do you have a paddle fetish? What's going on? Which I would love to do that movie.
Paddles can be involved. Yeah.
I would love. That's again like very much in the same vein as Office Space. Of like, I want to watch Dazed and Confused. Can we just do that movie so I can watch it, please?
We haven't done a Linklater film, have we? Dude, what's wrong with this?
Yeah, wow.
Talk about Texas. All right, what do you guys? Number 5.
For my number 5, and for obvious reasons why he's number 5, I have Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Hell yeah.
Because, you know, obviously the man's good at his job. You just got to keep him happy, make sure he's well paid. I'll give him his fair share of the cut. But I mean, yeah, dude, guy brought down a fucking amusement park, you know. And
he's going to burn you, man. He's going to take the shaving cream can to him by himself and sell it somewhere else. That's a good one, though. That's
very money motivated. Definitely wants to burn the company. So he's willing to get everybody on the island fucking eaten by dinosaurs. You know, I think. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, my number 5, I have Frank from the movie Thief. I don't know if you guys have seen Thief.
I still want to watch.
It's Michael Mann's first movie.
Yes.
So fucking good.
So many people talk so much good stuff about it.
But yeah, Frank, he has a fucking vision board. He's, a very like methodical guy. The only reason, I won't spoil the movie, actually, I'll just say he gets double crossed by some folks. It's not his skills as a thief. It's, the system. It's society. So I'm recruiting Frank.
We should do that movie too. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll probably watch it this weekend.
It's fucking good.
It's on my
I
mind.
feel like it's on Tubi all the time.
Okay. My number 4, the Ghostbusters would be a great cover and give me access to the computer mainframe.
my number 4, I have The Dude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he's down with the man. You know, hates the man. So that's motivation there, and he wants as least trouble as possible. You know, so I'm not worried about him.
Oh yeah.
You know,
trying to snake you.
Yeah. None of that. He just wants to get in, get out, and hey, keep me clean, like as clean as possible. You know, like so. Yeah, The Dude, man.
Nice.
Hell yeah. My number 4, I've got Crash and Burn from Hackers.
Nice.
The only reason they're number 4 is because Crash has been caught. So
yeah, he's got a record already.
He's not good. Yeah. But that being said, he was a kid. He's learned. He knows how to cover his tracks now. So yeah, like we can definitely hack the mainframe together.
All they got to do is change their names. Like, come on, guys.
Right.
My number 3 is the Life Aquatic Strike Team. They would dazzle in matching wetsuits and red beanies, but we would go back and get Cody and probably get caught.
My number 3, we talked a little bit. We referenced it earlier in the podcast, but number 3 is Danny Ocean.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty much guaranteed success there.
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox himself, yeah. It's the same goddamn movie. It's great. It's the same movie.
How dare you?
My number 3 is Theo from Die Hard.
Yeah.
Because, he's a hacker extraordinaire, and he would do it flair. He would have like fun little weird snappy things to say to me when I'm stressed out.
You didn't hire me for my attitude.
Exactly. He'd be like, be just doing like, all right, like doors are open. I'm just like, it's showtime, baby. And I'd be like, dude, can you calm the fuck down? We're trying to commit heinous acts of fraud.
Down.
Yeah.
These are so good. All right, I got Jason Fleming's Fat Tom from Lock, Stock. We could run it the same way as this porn check swindle.
We haven't done a Guy Ritchie movie either. We should do one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Yeah, there's so
Also,
many movies. There's so
maybe
many movies.
season 3 is the season where we just start doing movies like
No more gods.
Exactly.
They're all subject to the
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about doing some heavy hitters.
the whims of the great magnet.
In fact, I don't know. Maybe we just I'm down to plan out, another month or so and just be like, yeah, fuck it. We're just going to do like these big movies. Because why not?
Linklater.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we done? Nah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. My number 2, and for obvious reasons why he's not my number 1, but number 2, I have John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. Because this man has a godly superhuman gift of foresight.
Yeah.
And just nothing escapes him, thinks of every single possible outcome situation and has 20 backup plans for it.
That's an Ocean's movie right there.
This guy plans 20 years in advance. It just,
I was going to say also the way they're writing these fucking movies as they keep making them. It's like, oh, he's also been doing 19 other crimes in between the one crime we saw in the first movie.
Yeah. And 20 more like post death, like from the grave.
Yeah, exactly.
Only reason he's not number 1 is because, I'd probably get me for being greedy or something. And before I get away with the money, he's like, oh.
My number 2, and again, speaking of I feel like we just keep saying we should just do these movies. My number 2, we have to do one of these movies this year. My number 2 is Tej, aka Luda Chris Bridges from the Fast and the Furious saga. This man can do it all. He can fucking hack 1999 Nissan computer systems. He can break into Avis's and Hertz rent-a-cars back when the movies were about cars. Flash forward, he can take us to outer space. This man is a technical wizard, which the only reason he's not my number 1 is because, I couldn't not do my number 1. So right. Tej is my silver medal.
I'll take your word for it. My number 1, kind of going in line with Javi, but I took Walter Sobchak because he's already done it.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you the story and everything.
Perfect. My number 1 is Ozymandias from Watchmen.
Oh.
Very powerful.
Because again, kind of like John Kramer, he sees all the obstacles and possible, whatevers, and I mean, arguably the greatest mastermind of all time.
Yeah.
Did his plan and didn't do a villain monologue about it, and he got exactly what he wanted to do.
Already intensely wealthy.
Yeah.
Doing the Superman 3 for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Literally just for shits and giggles. Also, not to derail the podcast, but how do you feel about Watchmen? Have you ever read the comic?
I did read the comic.
Okay. How do you feel
read
about comic versus film?
I loved both.
I love both too. I don't understand the dorks that are like, I fucking hate the movie because it's not true to the comics. And it's like, well, to be true to the comics, you gotta that's so much work.
No.
And doesn't fit the format.
No, that was the best possible outcome we could. The best way you could do that adaptation without it being super alienating and just.
Was the comics Frank Miller?
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. Okay.
Yeah. Which I understand why he hates it. That's his baby. So that's the only guy that gets. He can hate it all he wants.
Yeah.
But
I love the movie.
But I'm
curious about the TV show. Did you guys watch that at all?
I didn't. I heard mixed things. I heard mixed things.
I did not have the streaming or whatever proprietor had it.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard mixed things. So I do have it. Again, it's just on my list of 100 things to watch. But
my number 1, I am so surprised no one took it, especially Javier. I have Benjamin Gates. This man can steal the Declaration of Independence. This man can definitely, steal a couple pennies from my corporate hell space. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing those movies too.
Hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
haven't watched them in a while, but I remember loving the shit out of them.
I haven't watched 2 in a while. 1 holds up. It's very
yeah.
fun. It's very stupid.
Oh, excellent. Thank you both. And if you're still listening, thank you. Thank you for listening this far. That brings us to the end of our show. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/The Nostalgia Killers Podcast. And thank you for listening. I have been Luc Londe.
I have been Michael Bolton, no relation.
And I have been Chuck
Whatever.
whatever.
And we have been The Nostalgia Killers.
Bang, bang.